The Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba 5.5 by 44 stick. Stay tuned. Welcome to Cigar Perspective. As I said in the intro, we are looking at the Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba 5.5 by 44 stick. I'm David, and I'll be taking you through this cigar today and having a little discussion. So let's get it cut up, introduce the flame, and see how it goes. Should probably take a little whiff of it first, huh? Definitely like a coffee, kind of like a coffee faint barnyard type aroma. Smells pretty good overall. This is actually one of my girlfriend's favorite sticks. She tends to really enjoy this one, so I thought it would be fun to do a review for my first one and talk to you guys about it. And starting off pretty good right away. It's pretty rich right off the bat. A little bit of leather, rich leathery note. Tastes pretty good actually. So what I really want to do is I want to bring like a discussion platform to the review. Like, it's really easy for people to just do reviews, but it would be nice if during that review there's a topic, a discussion, you know, an interview, something going on. So you're getting a lot more value than just say like a cigar review. A lot of people can do cigar reviews that, you know, I feel like I've been pretty blessed to really get to enjoy a lot of different cigars and experience a lot of things, so it would just be fun to share it and discuss cigars at the same time. But getting into this, it's just starting off really rich and just that leather so far. Maybe a little spice in there. Most of the time I think you'll be able to find these for between probably $6.99 and $10.99 from what I've seen. My local store, they're $6.99. I do see them online for $8.99, $9.99, and $10.99. Fortunately, I'm in Wisconsin, and I feel like I don't have too outrageous of prices to pay for cigars. But actually, as I said, my girlfriend, this is one of her top favorite sticks, and I actually have a close friend who's been recently getting into cigars, and he's only had 5 cigars so far, and that's been over like the last probably year or so. Once in a while he'll have one, and he's had 5, and so far he said that this Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba is the favorite stick that he's had so far as well, compared to some others. He's had some Olivas and an Alec Bradley and an EP Carrillo, a couple different names there. And so far the Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba is his choice too, so. there is kind of like a slight sweetness sort of coming into play now. Just very slight, like a tobacco type sweetness. It's not anything that's overpowering or that you're really gonna notice too heavy. It's just a real light tobacco sweetness. The one thing too, I've seen a lot of what other people discuss with this cigar is that they compare it a lot to the Opus X. I sort of can see why in a way, but Opuses are just so unique in their own right that it's hard to say that a cigar would be like the Opus X, but I mean, it does compare just slightly in some of the notes. It is a little rich, and the draw is pretty nice. It burns very evenly overall. But I've been wanting to do reviews for a while, and my goal is to bring in people and have conversations, do interviews with different people. I have different friends that have unique perspective, I feel like, and different people that I really feel have an interesting perspective on things. So I think it's just fun to have a cigar and discuss things and get different perspectives out there, and I really want you guys to comment and ask questions as well, and just get different perspectives going and different ideas going just across a platform, you know. But this cigar, the richness is definitely still there. Getting into it a little bit now. So I'd say it's medium body, right around a medium. But while we're letting this develop a little bit more about me, this isn't my full-time job or anything. This is a side thing. I want to do this for fun. I do have a regular job that I do during the week. I find time to maybe make a video or do a review when I get a chance to. My girlfriend smokes cigars. She loves cigars. It's really nice to have a girlfriend who also can enjoy cigars. Spend Valentine's Day at the cigar lounge and not at the movies, so that's really a nice thing for me and her. But really just very rich, a little bit of leather. There's a little, it's like kind of like a baking spice that's coming on, but that's also sort of subtle, along with that subtle sweetness, that tobacco sweetness in there. But so far, just a great cigar overall. I mean, as of right now, it's, and it's burning even, very even. The draw is very open, no troubles taking a draw. Good amount of smoke too. And I plan on doing a lot of reviews out, just like random reviews too around. I really think it'd be fun to just run into different people and have different cigars and just have a conversation right where you are and not even necessarily worry about being in a specific place. I'm not trying to make a podcast. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just trying to have a discussion around having a good cigar. That's the goal of what I'm doing. And I just want to share these cigars, and so you guys can make a decision if you want to try the cigar too or not while during the discussion. But we're definitely a third of the way in right now. It is only a 44 gauge, so it's not going to last real long time. It's a 5.5 by 44. So right now it's basically held the same. It opened up with like a rich leather. It developed into baking spice and a slight tobacco sweetness as we got just over the 1/3 point. So as we continue, we'll see if it changes more or if these notes seem kind of hold out. In my experience in the past with these, it does kind of hold a lot of the same notes throughout until the end, and then there may be more of like a peppery, like a black pepper kick or black or white pepper kind of kick towards the end, but we'll see if it does that again here or not. I mean, this is a real enjoyable smoke though. I think anyone from a beginner to a seasoned smoker is going to be able to pick this cigar up and enjoy it overall. And I smoke at home. I have sort of a little lounge area I created for myself, sort of decent ventilation and a balcony right on the same room, and can have the door open, and basically it's really aired out and a nice place to sit and enjoy a cigar. I tend to pair my cigars with a drink all the time. It's usually coffee, sometimes alcohol, super greens a lot, matcha tea a lot, stuff like that. Try to do things that are easy on the stomach. The ash is hanging on pretty nice here too. I don't know if you can see that or not. And one thing is, I would really enjoy getting different ideas of cigars to review. That's a lot of fun for me, is to hear the unique cigars that other people seem to know about. Everybody is so unique in the type of cigars they smoke, where a lot of times where they get them, what they'll pay for them, and just the different brands. I always am just so curious because it seems like everybody you meet has just overall a unique vision on their take on cigars overall. So it's another reason why I think it's a fun thing to do, and share your ideas and just keep it simple and have fun with it, and just enjoy the unique perspective that you may find. I'm going to go ahead and ash this before it falls. I feel like it's about to fall off any moment here. Won't be long, we'll be at the halfway mark. I also am the type of person, I will take the band off, smoke it past the band, and smoke it down as little as I can. I like to enjoy a cigar to the fullest. I don't waste cigars if I can help it. I'm not someone who's gonna throw half a cigar, quarter cigar. I'll let it go out and smoke it later. They're too good to waste. And not only that, they're too expensive to waste. But I started smoking, I mean, honestly, I was a cigarette smoker for many years, and I had quit for a few months of tobacco altogether, and then I was looking for, I had always enjoyed tobacco, I just didn't want to smoke cigarettes anymore. And my local coffee shop had a humidor, and one day I was sitting there having a coffee, and they have a big Rocky Patel cigar over the top. It's a big wooden cigar, it's huge. And I was just looking at it, and it just caught my attention. And when I went in the room, for some reason, the first thing that caught my eye was a Camacho. And I didn't buy one initially. I went home and went on the Camacho website and did a little reading, and then I went and I had a Camacho Red and a Rocky Camacho Red, a Havana Honey, and a Rocky Patel 1990. Those are my first few cigars that I had purchased at that humidor. And at the time, I had never mentioned anything to anybody else in my family about it. And it turned out that my uncle, one of my uncles, had went to that same humidor and randomly had purchased some cigars as well. And right around that, within a few days of me doing it too, it was a very interesting coincidence. And then since then, the cigars have really become a big part of my life. I have found a lot of peace and a lot of calm inside of having a cigar. I will go for a lot of walks and have a cigar. Cigars really can bring you a lot of peace if you have to kind of understand and respect it though. Like, there's a quality there. It's not about the machine-made Swisher Sweets, buying just a cigarette or a cigar at the store. Like, cigars just taste different. There's just so much more to it. And if you understand and respect it, it can bring you a lot of peace and a lot of calmness to your life. Right now we're about halfway here. Just about halfway. The richness has faded. The richness is fading out, and it's more still the baking spice, a little more subtle. The sweetness, the tobacco sweetness is fading, and the richness is fading. It's mostly like faint leather, little bit of the baking spice in there, and you still get the tobacco-y note, but there's just the sweetness isn't there anymore. It's a lack of sweetness on that, but it's still a good notes overall. Still tastes great. I feel like it's gonna finish good, just at the halfway point now. Let's see, a couple other things about me. I have a pet rabbit. I enjoy having a rabbit. It's been a very interesting take on a pet for my life. I had dogs when I was younger. If you want to have an interesting perspective on life, go adopt an animal or do something that you wouldn't normally do, or pick something that you definitely don't normally do, but be prepared for the responsibility of that. It's not going to be the same as what you're used to. You're going to have to be, if you want to learn how to maybe adapt and adjust to different scenarios, go do something different, but just realize that if you're going to get an animal or something, it's going to be a long-term adjustment and commitment. I got my rabbit at just under 2 years old, and she just turned 6. And recently, a few months back, I had some very rough issues with her bladder and things I wasn't expecting, and it really made me have to adjust how I take care of her and look at her a little bit differently than just this fun little animal that gets to run around the house and do whatever it wants and be this free little thing. So you have to be able to adjust and not lose your cool and freak out when things get rough if you do take on a role for that. Right now I'm having a matcha tea with, I have coconut water and oat milk, and I actually put a little super greens in it, and it's actually pairing pretty nicely with this. And now that this is actually losing that sweetness a little bit, and I have this drink that's got that slight sweetness, it's really bringing it back, and it's going together very nicely at the moment. But I love pairing different drinks with my cigars. It really, you can find such fun flavors and unique things when you do that. Almost to the band here. Not quite. Still got a little ways to go. Mostly, just right now it's a lot of just the leathery, maybe a little bread baking spice kind of note. But again, still good overall. The burn is still just great, even razor sharp almost. There's not hardly anything going on there, just straight across. I would definitely recommend these to anybody looking for either a new cigar they want to try. If you're a beginner or a seasoned smoker, I think you will enjoy the Casa Cuba. It's very enjoyable cigar. A lot going on outside my house all of a sudden. I hear vehicles and trains, everything else all of a sudden here. Sometimes I feel like I really try to take like deep draws, like almost like I still have almost like a cigarette smoker mentality, or I want to like get a nice deep draw, but that's, with cigars you gotta tone it down and try to relax. You just take your puffs at a time, you know. But it looks like I'm gonna have to take the band off here. We're getting down to there, so Casa Cuba band. Getting down to that final third. Still a really good cigar. Probably take just a little break here and then come back right towards the end and see how it finishes up for you. So we'll be right back here. Welcome back. So just finishing up here. It did turn into a little pepper like I thought right at the end. You know, the sweetness is gone, and there's no more baking spice, anything like that. It's just a little bit of leather, pepper, and tobacco right at the end. I know the video did get a little long, and most of the videos probably won't be that long, but just kind of introducing myself and and kind of just about what I am about cigars and things. But I'm gonna let this cigar go out. It was good. I recommend it to anybody. If you're a beginner or a seasoned smoker, go ahead and grab yourself one. Give it a try. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Watch my future reviews. I hope that you enjoy them. Thanks a lot, guys.